Diversity Officer.
I'm Mandy Webster, and I'm the Assistant General Manager of the Hilton Garden Inn right here.
I'm Nick Sanzotta, and I'm a Beautification and Maintenance Supervisor for the Auburn Downtown Pit.
And before we get started, I'd also like to introduce you to our celebrity judges. Our first judge on the panel today, he's a famous comedian and actor. Not sure what last movie he was in, but he will be judging us on our creativity. Put your hands together for Howie Mandel. Our next celebrity judge raised all the way from Brooklyn, New York. No, I'm sorry, the Bronx. Some of you may know her as J-Lo. She's also an actress, singer. Put your hands together for Jennifer Lopez. How are you? She's going to be judging us on presentation. Our next celebrity judge comes all the way from LA. You may know her as a supermodel, a fashion designer, and she's going to rate us on style. Ladies and gentlemen, Heidi Klum. Our last judge, you may know him as a TV personality. He is also a TV producer. Our very own Simon Cowell. There we go. You're going to be rating us from a scale of 1 to 10. Simon, you're going to be doing delivery. All right. We good? So I'm ready. So welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show, Cayuga's Got Talent. Are you ready to see some talent this morning? All right. Sorry to disappoint, we won't be seeing that today. But we do have a wonderful presentation about our show and what we have to bring for our youth in Cayuga County. I'm going to introduce you to Cathy. She is our first act of the evening.
Okay, so you should be thankful that I'm not going to sing or dance to my slides, and now that I know it's Facebook Live, I'm thankful for that too. To talk a little bit about how we arrived at our project. So as a group, we have some Cayuga natives, and we also have some kind of transplants that are working here or maybe moved here. I'm going to give a shout out to a member of ours who was with us along the way, but moved out of the area, and that's Kelly. Hey, Kelly. So one of the things that was really kind of finding some common ground with those of us that maybe weren't as familiar with Cayuga County, but one of the threads that we all felt so strongly about was the youth in Cayuga County. So how many of you have children, grandchildren? Are you aunts, uncles, kind of, got kids in your life, and you obviously are invested in them and the experience that they have in the county. So we all kind of shared that commitment. And so one of the things we talked about was the idea that youth in Cayuga County need some opportunities to showcase the talents that they have. We had these, this big plan of first kind of tackling this as a year-long project and a year-long experience for students, and we've decided that we're going to move into just more of a pilot first to see how this goes, and then hopefully it would expand out throughout the county. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Mandy, who's our next act.
All right, guys, yeah, so the purpose and the goals of our project, as Cathy just touched base on, was we wanted to create some type of recreational activity for the kids in Cayuga County. I mean, because let's face it, there is not a whole lot going on for the youth in Cayuga County. And, as leaders in our community, we want to create a platform for them to be able to showcase their talents. So the purposes and goals is, to provide youth in Cayuga County an opportunity to participate in activities during their winter break, promote healthy and social interaction with their peers, ensure there are activities that are affordable to all youth. So this is a big one. The idea of this is to create an event that would be either free or at very low cost to them. And we will touch base on that in further slides as well.
So the research for our project, we had a student survey, which is, I believe, the next slide, where there was several questions There was also the Cayuga demographics and the different towns, villages, everything like that. And also the Leadership Cayuga presentations, which were the presenters that came in to talk to us, gave us a lot of the information that we used for this project. And also online resources, which everything's online, which we're talking about tonight. So that's pretty much that for our research.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was an informal student survey that was conducted with some of our Auburn high school students. So one of the 4 selections they had to choose from is if these were presented to you at a free or no cost rate, would you be interested? Would you participate? So the first one is maybe dollar skating at ice skating, the ice skating or roller skating rink, a talent show, night at the museum, snow sculpture contest. So out of the surveys that were given, 24% of the students completed the survey stating that there is a lot of talent in the area and having a place to showcase that talent would be wonderful. 12% were interested in the talent show, 8% were interested in the snow sculpting, and 4% were just undecided. So what are some of the students saying? I'm bored, there's nothing to do around here. Unless your parents have money, you're screwed. And my older brother, he buys us beer, and for me and my friends, we drink. So that's just a couple things that I put down here for what some of the students are saying. So we did a little research in the demographics of the area. We received some information from the New York Census on Cayuga County. The median income is $54,664. 11.4% of individuals living in Cayuga County are under the poverty line, and 18% of children under 18 live in poverty and have limited access to affordable activities. Myself, working as the early childhood director with the Head Start program, in order for our families to qualify for our program, they have to be at or below the poverty line. So I work with individuals in poverty every day. Even though our school is preschool, they have older siblings. So when they come in and I say, what are you doing for winter break? Nothing. You're not going to know, my mom doesn't have any money, so we don't do anything. So I think that's the reason why we decided to look at the winter breaks, because a lot of people hibernate in the winter. And if you don't have the money to go to Disneyland or go to Florida, you're stuck in the house. So we're looking at doing a week of fun. So with limited resources, our children living in poverty are subjected to staying at home or just hanging out with friends, trying not to get in trouble. The week of fun activities will give every child an opportunity to work side by side with their peers, regardless of economic status, and engage in fun activities as an alternative to staying at home. Each venue was selected in an effort to ensure children and families can easily access them. Hoops Park, the museums, Casey Park, skating rink, and Hilton Garden Inn are all on the bus line and within walking distance of many of our families. So the calendar is not there, but just before what the calendar would look like, it is in our binder. Monday of that first week of winter recess would be open auditions. Open auditions, there will be 3 time frames. There's a morning, I believe we said 10 to noon. There's a midday, and then there's an evening where anyone can come and audition. There's more information on the slides to come. Tuesday is our ice skating day, where it's $1 to ice skate at Casey Park. Wednesday is we've looked at the movieplex and having a day, mostly during the day, we wouldn't do a week, but a day of discounted passes, or maybe throwing a free drink and a popcorn. Thursday would be a night at the museum. So that would be going to the museum, having an opportunity to look at some of the art and some of the culture, and having fun doing that. Friday night is our Cayuga's Got Talent, and Hilton Garden Inn will be helping to support that venue and having a place where people can come and watch our youth perform. And Saturday would be the snow sculpture contest, and we'll get into more of that in the next slide. Who's next?
So why talent? So how many of you feel like you have a talent and you would be able to come up here and perform? Come in. Oh, a couple. we aren't gonna ask you to, so we will, later. You will not be asked to do this now, how many of you have talent? How many of you, you know, when you can think of the kids in your life, how many have talents? Right, so there's probably more that we'd say about the kids. Now, one of the things that we thought about was, you know, looking at, obviously these are some of the quotes, you're unique, you have different talents and abilities, you don't always have to follow the footsteps of others. And most important, you should always remind yourself that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing, and you have a responsibility to develop those talents. You've got Maya Angelou saying, I believe that every person is born with talent, and you've got Sir Ken Robinson saying, your life is created by the talents you discover or not. So talent is actually defined as a natural attribute or skill. So now if you consider that definition, how many of us think that, okay, maybe we have some natural attributes and skills in certain areas? How many of us have talent now? Right? So we're going to talk a little bit that talent doesn't always have to be performing, and so we've thought about that as we've considered the activities that are going to be gone over a little bit more in the next slide, but we've thought about that to make sure that it doesn't always have to be singing, dancing, kind of performing on stage. But I also want to just play a clip, and I'm hoping it's going to work. Bear with me because I think we may end up with ads that I need to, oh. If it doesn't work out, oh. I broke it. I did. Okay, so it's not working apparently. No. So basically, we wanted to have a student be able to speak to the idea of talent. And what this individual is saying is Jared, and he's a high schooler, and he was talking about his experience with discovering his own talent. And his message was that up until a certain point in his life, he had kind of gotten into a bad place, was making bad choices. You know, people, we've all heard the story, right? He wasn't having the best social experience in the school setting, so he was kind of down and out, really. And he just kind of was like, I wasn't motivated to go to school, I wasn't really doing anything. And something kind of sparked inspiration in him, and he began to embark on photography. And he said, you know, I just tried. And something inspired me, and I thought, I want to go do that. And he tried to do that, and then he said he put himself in the position to develop this talent and to meet others who have those interests. And his commentary about it is that through doing that, he really reflects on how much personal growth he had, obviously how many social relationships he built, but he also talks about the growth that they had together. And so that's a little bit of the concept too, is that we all know that developing our skills and kind of feeling proud of what we can do can help develop that confidence. And so there's an underlying effort that we want to have in really celebrating the Cayuga youth talent that's around. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail about the events themselves, and Mandy's going to begin with that.
Okay. You know, and before this, I thought public speaking was a talent of mine, and I'm just going to say, not so much. I should have went to that Toastmaster meeting. Should have done that. Okay, so showcase your talent. So like we talked about this, what we would do is we would hold open auditions, preferably at a community center. You know, the Finger Lakes Mall, they're really trying to bring people in there, and I think that would be a great opportunity, a great place for that. So we would be accepting group and individual acts. So it just doesn't have to be yourself up there. You know, you can perform as a group. Celebrity judges. This is another thing too, is just gathering people in the community that would want to be a part of this. Everybody's idea of celebrity is different. And let's see here. So volunteer opportunities. This is another great base here. Just because you don't want to perform doesn't mean that you can't be involved in this. You know, events like this, it does take a lot of work. There would need to be volunteers. And of course, awards given to the top 3 contestants. So again, we would be, you know, needing in-kind donations from some of the local people as well. And then we thought, you know, just adding about some fun things, a photo booth and a selfie station, something like that to bring some fun as well.
Nick.
All right, Nick's going to talk a little bit about the next activity that we have planned.
So, Central New York, snow. This would be weather pending, obviously, good because February, anything can happen with the weather. So, but hopefully if there is snow, we would have a snow sculpture contest at Hoops Park, February 22nd, 1 to 3. The snow sculptures, you can make whatever you want, you know, and it's going to be, it'll be judged by, again, celebrity judges. Snow graffiti, where you can, something I did when I was a preschool teacher. It's fun. You can use like a squirt bottle or something with food coloring, anything like that, and I used to bring the kids out during the winter, which was, that was a blast, getting them all dressed for their snows. And they could spray the snow and make pictures and everything like that. So that would be something along those lines. The Frosty Toss is not a snowball fight. It's they have to throw snowballs into a target. So that's what that would be. And Shake It Up DIY snow globes, which it would be jars and, you know, make it look like a snow globe. I was able to speak with someone at City Hall and pick up the application to have this event at Hoops Park. So we had the application, and she actually said that the city would probably sponsor it. So that was very good to hear. So that would be our Snowcase Your Talent Day.
So promotion and marketing, we were lucky enough earlier when we were thinking about doing some programming, doing breaks. So we had some contact with the Auburn Superintendent Office, and they were really interested in being able to partner with us in terms of promotion. So they have some online materials that they send out, they push out to students and parents, and they thought that that could be a good venue for promotion. So we would hopefully be looking to partner with any school districts or any individual schools that would be interested in helping us publicize this as a break opportunity. We would also be posting flyers in the community where students and parents may be. So if that's, you know, churches, agencies, that sort of thing, we'd like to be able to promote it through posting. But we also understand everything's online. We'll be posting it in the Auburn app as well. But we would be posting it online to make sure that we're hitting as many people as possible. Again, understanding that not everybody does have a phone with an app and, you know, unlimited data, unlimited data. So we would need to kind of do it through multiple methods, finding out which is the best way to reach the parents and which is the best way to reach the students. I may be partnerships again. Okay. So to do this, I think when we were building this, you know, we're thinking about what is within the realm of what we could do with our limited resources and with our limited access. And then understanding, okay, then what does that mean we would be asking others for? So realizing that we can't do this without the help of the community as well. And so we'd be looking for potential partnerships. The human resources that go into delivering these types of events is high. So you do need a lot of hands, you do need a lot of help in just showing up to the event, making sure the lighting's right, making sure the students are in their right order, making sure the kids understand kind of, you know, how to manage their stress right before going on. Having somebody that's good at kind of managing that and helping the youth prepare. We obviously will be looking for community agencies that are interested, school leadership, and volunteers. The school leadership, also maybe the celebrity judges, if the youth are really familiar with them. And again, who all of us identify as celebrities is different. And to the youth, a lot of time that's the people that they see in the school setting. And then to have the financial resources, certainly there is cost associated with this. Even with the in-kind donations of the locations to have the event there, there's costs associated with perhaps the prizes, or maybe some of the sets that need to be put up, or with the outside, with a Snowcase Your event, or Snowcase Your Talents event, we would want to have some sort of supplies for the DIY globes and that sort of thing. So we'd be looking for both in-kind, some community agency sponsorship, and then the vendors would just add to the event. So if we could have a food truck, or you know, a caterer that wants to come in and offer the hot chocolate and that sort of thing, we'd be looking for opportunities with that as well. So, just want to acknowledge some of the resources we used for some of the materials we have here and in our packet. In our packet, we actually had a developed application, a proposed judge's rubric, which you all don't have. You sure got to that one. But we kind of sketched out a skeleton for some of the structure pieces that would have to go with the events. So these are references that we used as well. Any questions? And this has like all this animation with curtains and stuff. Just to say we're disappointed is understandable. Are there any questions though?
Are you targeting more high school or junior high? What's the age range which you're looking at?
Anybody that has a talent, I think. You know, anybody that wants to participate. I mean, we're not opposed to it. Our original was 10 to 18 was our age range. So from like upper middle, from like
middle school to high school.
Great. And for the talent show, obviously, but we also had the consideration that many of those may have younger siblings, so we tried to make sure that when we talked about the snow case and or the other opportunities, there would be something that even younger kids could participate in somehow.
Just a thought, the Auburn Public Theater might be a great group to participate with this and host it. They do this kind of stuff. They have an open mic night on Tuesday nights and things.
Yeah. It's more about like, you know, what we're trying to do is with the calendar and distributing it to the school districts is to let kids know about what is going on. Because Cayuga County is a large county. I mean, are the kids in Sterling, do they know about the things that are happening in Auburn? You know, that's one of the things that we had talked about. And honestly, I mean, this is a great group of people here. I mean, we are so fortunate to have such wonderful leaders in our community. And to raise children and to raise them right, it really does take a village. I really feel like that's the truth. So I think we need to come together as leaders and, you know, try to come up with creative ideas for our kids to be able to showcase their talents. Any other questions? Thank you.
Before